than 90 minutes, the 66th Color War at Camp Equinunk will commence. Ever since 1920, when Chief Edward Lara founded Camp Equinunk and held the first Color War, the division of the camp into two teams, the camp colors being red and gray, for athletic competition, teaching sportsmanship and beginning a history of intense athletic competition and good fellowship at Camp Equinunk. Current camp owner Steve Galopter and Marty and Gert Galopter will be running the 66th Color War at Camp Equinunk. Friday night is the big basketball game, ending in athletic competition on Saturday. In less than 90 minutes, the camp will be awakened with what is traditionally called the break, the commencement of Color War. The road from Camp Equinunk is Camp Blue Ridge, across the lake. We will also be seeing the last day of Color War at Camp Blue Ridge, and perhaps part of the girls sing at Camp Blue Ridge. So very shortly, we will begin Color War at Camp Equinunk with the traditional break, surprising all the boys camp. The hotel at Camp Equinunk. You've heard about some of the history of Color Wars. I'm now about to interview Stephen Galopter, one of the owners of Camp Equinunk, who I've known for a number of years. Mr. Galopter, what is your opinion of this break? Is this one of the best breaks, and would you describe it briefly or show? No, let's not describe it. Let's see if we can...
If the weather clears, this will be the most spectacular break of all time.
What was your record in Color War while you were a camper? Do you recall?
Well, I had a winning record when I was a camper, and I had a split record as a counselor.
Is your record in Color War any better than your record in supporting candidates in politics?
About the same, I would say.
Okay, we'll be talking to Stephen Galopter throughout this Color War. And do you have any other comments about what you expect from this Color War? This is a long tradition at Camp Equinunk, I take it.
Unaccustomed as I am to public speaking, I would like to take this opportunity to announce my candidacy. No, I think it's going to be a good Color War. Especially the upper senior group this year are full of good athletes. I think that they will give us well-fought games, even games, with the break the way it is, a precedent-setting break. Because number one, it's going to be something never done before. Number two, it's being done in the morning of a day that is usually not expected until well after lunch.
In fact, this is a good question. Have you ever broken a Color War this early? This is really
Never.
4 days before
this is going to turn out to be a 4-day Color War. This is precedent shattering.
This is the first time in how many years?
First time in 66 years.
66 years. And is that representative of your attitude about breaking with tradition whenever you can?
Not really, but...
Are you a traditionalist, would you say?
Yes.
All right. Stephen Galopter,
this
is Arthur Freifelder, head counselor at Camp Equinunk. Arthur, this is what Color War for you? Would you number, including all your ones as a camper?
17.
Do you remember what your record, won-loss record is in...
1-1. I was on your team for one when we lost, and I was in one other Color War in this camp, and I dominated for 12 years. I had the record until last year when somebody beat it.
When you were the chief, what did you win by as chief?
160 points.
Do you really think that that's an example of your leadership as chief, or would you say it was just pure winning flips? Why don't you explain the flip system? And in fact, tell us a little bit about Color War. How are the teams picked? How are the counselors divided up?
This is done politically. You usually pick your friends and you screw the good guys. Not really. I'm only kidding. It's done in a manner that you take the best possible men and the best possible in all groups, so you can utilize your staff most efficiently.
And each age group is divided up into approximately equal
teams. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way. I was senior group head the year I was chief. I picked a certain team, and I won every game by a large margin. So obviously everybody said it was fixed, but that's not true.
What do you think is the key element in a win in Color War? Is it the athletic prowess of the kids? Is it counselor leadership, or a combination?
It's not a matter of winning or losing Color War. It's the fact of being involved.
That's spoken like a true head counselor and good sport.
It doesn't matter if you win or lose the war, as long as you're in it.
Tradition of Color War breaks is for the sheet that describe whose team everybody is on to be thrown up in the air at the time of the break. Artie Freifelder has just given instructions and assignments for the throwing up of all the sheets. That's Howard Saffron, assistant head counselor. And walking towards me right now is Marty Galopter, owner of Camp Equinunk and father of Steve. Standing at Lara Field, which is a baseball field. This will be the location of the break. We're going to watch this break being set up ahead of time, and you're now going to see for the first time what this break is all about. If you notice, a van has just arrived. Yes? See if you can figure out what it is before I tell you. Stephen thinks that this is one of the best breaks he's ever seen. Let me see if I can get you a better focus here. What will be happening here, that is a balloon. Stephen will be going up above a Lara field in a hot air balloon. It should occur just as the camp is down at lineup in front of the flagpole. The cannon is a traditional method to let the children know, to let the Equinunk boys know that color war has broken. As soon as the cannon goes off, the entire boys' camp will come running up to Lara Field. They will see Stephen over the field in the balloon, hopefully, without drifting off, and then the sheets that announce everybody's team, which team they're on between the red team and the gray team, and who the chiefs are among the counselors, will be thrown out of the balloon by Stephen, presumably, and then others who already, you just saw Artie Freifelder give assignments, will come running out to throw up the sheets. That's the way the break is. I'll give you a quick view of Lara Field. Beautiful flat field. You can see it's also used for soccer, and there will be a soccer game here. This narrative will be a narrative of the senior boys of Camp Equinunk in this 1985 color war. For years and years, beginning with their earliest days as freshmen, at the age of 5 or 6, all these boys look forward to this moment in time when they're seniors for the experience of being a senior during color war. And over as the people at the balloon are setting up, it may seem that there's too much importance placed on color war, but in fact color war teaches an awful lot to these young men. Athletic competition for the four and a half day period is important. Young kids, the younger boys participating for lower amounts of points. The freshmen and sophomores, for example, have a full schedule of athletic activities, but each of their activities amount to a less number of points than the sophomores, and of course the seniors have the most points of all. Walk over and watch them set up this balloon a little bit more closely. Traditions of color war is, as I mentioned earlier, the firing of the cannon. Lou Galopter has been the cannon firer for a number of years. He may be the most experienced and best and most efficient cannon firer there is at Camp Equinunk. How many years have you performed this ceremony of firing the cannon to begin color war?
I've been doing this about 7 years now.
7 years. Is it true that you're an attorney, but that this is really your first profession?
This is my first profession. I only moonlight as an attorney. Anyone who thinks that my primary function is as an attorney is wrong. This is my true job.
Lou Galopter, of course, being the brother of Stephen and the son of Marty, has family connections to Camp Equinunk. When were you a camper? What year was your first year at this camp?
I started out in 1958. I was 4.5 years old. I was in bunk 1 twice. And my upper senior year was 1959.
Now we will, for the first time, show. Has this camera ever been? Has this cannon ever been recorded on videotape before?
On videotape, no. It has been recorded on film, but with a very restricted audience.
This is almost akin to a CIA confidential secure secret. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Here's what it looks like. It's like the first view of the atomic bomb, something close to that. Here we are. Oh, is that disappointing? That little... We expected a very big cannon. Is that all there is?
That's all there is.
We get this a little bit more in focus here.
That's all there is.
There's the focus. That is the cannon. And how does it work, Louis?
It takes
Why don't you bend down and just give us a little
10 gauge blank shotgun shell.
shotgun shell.
Goes in the back.
Goes in the
Little
back.
thing like this.
Where's the shotgun shell? Let me get a close-up of that. There it is. Is there any bullet in that shell, though? That's the question.
No,
No.
not at all.
Just plain a blank.
Just blank, nothing in it.
And he puts it in
And we put it in, and we just, that's
and
all there is.
pulls it. And all the kids hear that cannon, and for years and years and years, that has been the traditional opening of Color War. Well, thank you very much. We'll see you later, Lois.
My
You
pleasure.
can see the balloon is slowly being blown up with hot air. That's a motor of some sort that is blowing hot air into this balloon. And it will presumably blow all the way up and then have enough force to lift the basket below it. Not quite sure what the right term is. I know there's another word, but besides basket, but I can't think of it. I hope this color is coming out here because there's a beautiful red part of this white balloon. And if the sun can come out, we'll get a beautiful, beautiful color here. It's Bernie Strauss, athletic director.
This is very Avant.
Very
Yes?
Athletic director.
Avant is the plane that I was in.
I heard.
The thick as a bunch on
I
me up
know.
the ass. I don't know about that.
Athletic director at Camp Equinunk, Bernie Strauss. How long have you been at Camp Equinunk, Bernie?
23 big ones.
23 years.
Yes, sir.
But he's only 25 years old. What, you were 2 years old when you started here?
Actually, I would say before conception even, but
Before conception?
yeah, in spirit only though.
Well, tell me what you look forward to in this color war. Let's start with the seniors. Is it pretty good? Bernie right now has in his hands, I described those color war sheets to you. Those are the sheets. Tell me what you look forward to in this color war, Bernie. Are the senior boys going to have a good basketball game?
Hope so. Hope so.
Look like the team.
I've got to favor Clean's team.
That's what team?
Great.
Bernie
It's an
Strauss
early-
predicting
early
the early pick
Right.
in the basketball
Without
game.
even barely looking.
Barely looking. Tell us a little bit why, because you're going to be hearing Bernie Strauss's voice as the. Are you still doing the play-by-play for the senior basketball game? Okay. Tell us a little bit why you're picking.
Well, it's tough to go against Clean, basically.
You think Clean is the best ball player?
Yeah,
And
plus they get blocked on the same team. He's the best quote-unquote big man. All right?
Kleina and Kwok are on the same team.
Right.
Is
And
that
not only that, I'm gonna lay one on you right now, which is really interesting. They don't have Michael Greenfield, which is sort of semi-ridiculous because he's the only other big man. And I don't see the other team competing on the boards. Very honestly. All right. As a matter of fact,
Who's on the red team that's a threat?
well, you've got him and Wachtell, who are Wachtell's a good shooter, and Gutterman's a good ball handler. But Wachtell can only shoot if he gets open, and he can be stopped very easily. And Andy is going to have to handle the ball. Stephen Clark, who's the other chief, is a pretty good ball player, but not much of a threat from the outside. And beyond that, it's bye-bye time.
But isn't it true, Bernie, that sometimes too much emphasis is placed on the one senior basketball game when there are lots of points to be won in the other
Oh,
sports?
yeah, well, I'm just looking at the senior game.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay, well, we're going to be talking to Bernie Strauss about this color war. He'll be giving us color commentary not only on the seniors, but on the rest of the group.
Very good.
Thank you, Bernie.
Right.
You can see the machine now. It's continued to do its work, and look at the change in this balloon since the last time we looked. Yes, isn't that beautiful? Dangers is you're looking now at the trees that surround the boys' camp. Reveille will be in about 10 minutes, and one of the dangers is that somebody's going to see this balloon, and the idea is to wait until the kids are at lineup, which is, another half hour from now. So this is going to be a very interesting case of timing to see whether this balloon can not get blown up too fast before the boys notice it. This is a balloon sponsored by Rent-A-Wreck, quality cars and trucks rent at down-to-earth prices. Isn't that interesting? The Globe is getting himself psyched for this. That is blowing air into this balloon. We're going to see if we can get a quick look inside the balloon as it's blowing up. basket, and the balloon is called a gondola. One of my questions has just been answered, which is how do they time the blowing up of this balloon to prevent it from taking off? They've just turned down the motors because it really looked like this balloon was ready to pull that gondola in the air. Isn't that a beautiful sight? Something like 15 more minutes and we'll have our color war break. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that something? Here's where the hot air comes. This is a blowtorch. This is a blowtorch. And the balloon is trying to take off. Oh, look at that. Here's that hot air balloon now. That's where the hot air comes from. Isn't that beautiful? All right. He's now calling Stephen Galopter to get into the... You can see Stephen Galopter may be losing his nerve a little bit. That's Mr. Galopter getting in the gondola. Who's that? That's Galopter waving. Who's in with it? Bernie Strauss has gotten into the gondola with Galopter. Still firing it up. You can see that it's taking an awful lot to hold on to that balloon as it's really starting to pull them up. Really starting to pull up. Stephen Galopter, like the Wizard of Oz, taking off for the land of Oz. Toto. Rising into the air, it's likely now that they will be seen by the boys' camp as reveille goes off. So this may have to start earlier than usual. The way he is getting that adjustment is every time he wants a little bit more air, he blows that... Now hearing reveille. You're now hearing reveille. Coming down a little bit. That's Artie Freifelder, waking everybody up with his traditional everybody up, 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 up. What Henny Goldman, the great head counselor from Camp Equinunk for years and years, used to wake up everybody that way. Now Artie Freifelder says the same thing. I would guess very shortly someone's going to notice, the word's going to spread, and all these kids are going to come running up here to realize that color war is broken. It should be very exciting. Right on the road. This is going to be the road that the kids will ultimately be running up. There's the tree surrounding the boys' camp right here. Sitting here. You can see that the balloon is sinking. My God, sinking. He's got to make it go up a little bit more because it's starting to sink. The kids won't be able to see it. Stephen is going to be very upset. The balloon has just sunk to the ground. We don't know why yet. This could be a major, major concern. Always a fly in the ointment. For some reason, this balloon has settled on the ground. He's now trying to get the hot air to reheat the balloon there. It looks like there's almost like some kind of a leak. It just blew for lineup. In fact, they deliberately, you'll be happy to know, they deliberately brought the balloon down so the kids wouldn't see it prematurely, and it should be taking off. If the kids get to the lineup pole, we're just hoping they're going to be able to see it. We think they will, but this balloon is, not as high as it might have been, and there is still a question whether they will see it. Old staff at Camp Equinunk, And they're all watching, of course, this opening of the break. It should be a chaotic scene because the flagpole is quite a distance. These young people are going to have to run. You can see this is the hotel here, more staff coming down. And all the way down that hill, can't really see it from here, they will have to run all the way up the hill and probably run up this path, and you'll see most of the kids running up this hill, at which point the sheets will probably be flown up right in the middle of Lara Field. It should be a chaotic scene, and we're down to about the last 2 minutes. The time is about, I'd say about 7:40. That's lineup. Listen. The entire boys' camp goes to the flagpole now. As they're walking to the flagpole,
Everybody to the flagpole.
you can hear Artie. Up. It's rising, and as it rises, you can hear the singing around the world in 80 days. See the difference? I'm singing from Wizard of Oz, Over the Rainbow. They're singing around the world from 80 days. You decide which is more appropriate. Someone else wants to be singing Up, Up, and Away. Okay, it's very shortly. The kids are going to be singing this now. Problem. I thought that it was deliberate, but in fact there is a problem. There may be too much weight in this thing, or something is wrong, because it just came down, and this is very, very disappointing if this thing doesn't get back up again. All right, they just blew the cannon. They just blew the cannon. Here they come. They just blew the cannon. It's somewhat disappointing. I think there's just too much weight in this. You'll be seeing the kids come flying up now. The balloon isn't very high in the air, as you can see. It's Jeremy Glean, I believe. Senior chief, first one up the hill.
Robert. Yeah, drop. Yeah.
That, of course, is Chris Davis. Doesn't see I'm here. A little bit of a... Everybody sort of knows it's color war, but they're all waiting for something to happen. They're kind of walking around. Everyone's kind of walking around now. They're a little bit concerned about the basket coming down on the kids. They're yelling, "Get the kids out of here." This is a chaotic scene. Looking, balloons coming down. You can see the chaos.
Go, science check.
Come with me, you're with me.
Interrupt scene from the break a little bit and give you a guided tour of the boys' camp. As you can see, we're here on boys' camp. That's the Arts and Craft Shack. Those are the inter bunks. And here's senior row. And this is what the boys look forward to from their freshman year. That's bunk 33, highest bunk in the camp. And there's bunk 32, bunk 31, bunk 30, and so on. We're a little bit out of order here because there's a bit of a mistake made, and we'll be going quickly to an interview of the other boys before we go back to the scene in the counselor shack. So this is a bit out of order. This is usually a time for quiet reflection. There's the HQ down there. That's where the camp is run. You can see HQ at the top. And rest of camp right now is, as I said, this is a bit out of order. This is after the breakfast. And there'll be no activities this morning. Then this afternoon there will be the swim meet.
Man, tell buddy. Some luck, bud. I haven't got it. Who's got it?
Those are two chiefs.
Ronnie.
There's Corey. Hey, Corey.
Hi. I just wanted to ask you when this is finished,
Yes.
maybe I'll give you some money so you get me a copy.
Yes.
Okay? Definitely want a copy.
Definitely have a copy.
distributed. Empire.
Empire. Yes, I will get you a copy, Corey,
I'll
for
give
sure.
you money before you go, okay?
For sure. Introduce yourself next.
Ken Fisherman.
Ken Fisherman. And is this, how many color wars have you been through with this?
This is the first.
This is your first. What's your impression of this? What is your impression of the brakes?
Different.
Were you surprised that it broke this morning?
Yeah, I thought it was a fake break.
And did you see the balloon from the flagpole? Because there was some worry about whether that balloon was going to stay in the air.
Yeah, I guess we all saw it from the flagpole.
But we didn't give it a serious thought.
We didn't think much of it.
Okay. Mr. Ash,
Yes.
this is how many years at Equinunk
This
now?
is my 9th year here at Camp Equinunk.
And you've been looking forward to senior year at Color War for all 9 years, right?
Yep, I have.
And are you happy with the team you're on?
Yes. I'm very happy with Mr. Gutter and Mr. Clark, who are my very close friends, and I think Red is going to come out ahead because we're the best.
Okay, well, it looks like this is going to be... Okay, that looks like Mr. Pisnoy, although I got to get different lighting. Are you excited about this Color War?
Yes.
How many years have you been at... 10. 10 years at Equinunk.
Tell me win loss.
What's your record?
0-9.
0-9. Well, do you think the percentages favor that you're going to win one Color War?
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Not.
Okay.
Out and down.
Who's that?
Mark Lestow.
Hi, Mark. And what do you feel about this year's Color War?
I think Gray wins. This is my second year, and Gray won last year, killed them, and Gray will win this year.
What's your record at Equinunk?
1-0.
1-0. So you've got you're batting 1,000%. This is Corey Bell, Red Team Chief. Corey, how many years at Equinunk?
15.
And I want to ask you an honest question. 15 years ago, did you look at the calendar and try to figure what year you'd be chief?
So the truth, when I was a camper, I never thought I would ever be chief.
You never thought you'd ever be chief.
But now the time has come, I'm here.
And is winning and losing as a chief critical to you, or tell the truth?
Obviously, but the bottom line is that these other seniors have been here for a long time, and I just hope they all enjoy it and remember it. Because when I was other senior, the world was leave it eye, and I just send a message to the other seniors that just enjoy it and remember it. That's the bottom line.
Well, now we can all see why Corey Bell got to be chief. Nicely put. And who's that? How many years have you been here?
This is 3.5.
3.5. And
I'm right now 3 on Cold War, and batted 1,000.
Red cap?
Hopefully,
you're 3-0.
3 hopefully going 4 David Epler, best friends on my team since 3 years, and hopefully put it together and do it. And these are my boys right here.
Those are your boys, is right. Okay, well, we're going to look forward to a big color war here at Equinunk. Signing off for now.
I don't see anyone here, any group that has a disadvantage. We are going to destroy every single group. I want to hear 3 out grades for all your bands. 1, 2, 3.
Empire. Guys, get together. Empire. Ready?
Empire! Empire!